Welcome back to the channel. This is the Rezik family. If you are a young family or an older family that is traveling a lot, or if you know someone who has a family that's traveling a lot, I think this video may be for you. We are not providing tips and tricks. We are just a family who's also been traveling and been in a season of being nomads. And we just kind of want to share some of our struggles so that if you're out there and you've had those struggles, you understand that you're not alone. So for some context, I came back from my deployment. So I've been gone for 8 months away from my family, living out of a suitcase and traveling and going to training. And I come back and I'm not exactly, there's transition that occur with redeploying. It's not as simple as just I go back to my family. She's been doing things for 8 months. She's been in charge of everything for 8 months. And I have a tendency as a man to just come back and say, I make decisions now, and I make the wrong decisions because I don't know anymore how things run. And so it's a transition. On top of that, we don't have a home. She's living with her father, so I'm coming back and living with my father-in-law. So it's been hard for me to have a family, my own family, but I don't really have control even of my own environment. I don't even know how things operate within my family, and then outside my family, the home or an environment around me, I don't have control over. David, my father-in-law, has been so gracious and has been so patient and flexible with us. But it's never quite the same as having your own space. And then on top of that, I am getting out of the Army, so I don't even know what I'm doing. I just decided that I'm going to pursue ministry. I'm going to go get my master's of divinity. It's a great journey for us. We're super excited. We're super excited to find a church and get connected once we move. But I don't know what I'm doing with my career. We don't know we just decided where we're moving. We didn't even know where we're going to move for the rest of our life. And so we have been in about 2.5 months now, trying to make these huge life decisions in an environment that's not ours, in a place that we're always surrounded by family and never have the opportunity to get that alone time we need. And then on top of all that, I don't think we've stayed in one place for more than 2 weeks. I mean, we spend 2 weeks with your dads, then maybe we jump to stay at your mom's for a week. We went to Greenville, South Carolina for 2 weeks to check out the area. Now we're in Louisville with my family for 2 weeks. Then we're going to be going to Oregon, then we're going to Colorado.
We're going to Georgia.
We're going to Georgia
So he can
for
clear.
2 weeks, and then we're going to, it's insanity. It's insane. I don't know why we do the things that we do. I don't know what's wrong with us, but we're doing it. And I know that we'll love it at the end because of all the journeys and the experiences. But man, it's tough. It's tough living out of a suitcase, living in a place that's not your own, constantly moving, having a family, and then making some of those decisions.
It's been a journey. I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for even the 2.5 months that we've had looking back. So definitely what you said of we're going to be grateful for it, but it's hard. And I feel like I'm still playing catch up from even deployment in that transition. There's a lot of moments that I have that I'm like, wow, I guess this is part of transitioning, and it's still hitting me like a wave at times, and on top of that, you're figuring out what's next and traveling. Everything's new. There's no consistency in our life. So it's very difficult to feel like you have any level of control, which I think gives most people a level of peace. So that's why I think this challenge it's definitely brought us closer to the Lord and as we daily surrender it to Him. But it's hard, and it's definitely difficult as we're also I keep telling Alex, it'd be so different if he came back and we were still living in Georgia at the time, and we just had our own space in our own house, and we could just focus on transitioning our family and getting back into our new groove and going through what's next in that environment. But having the different environments and on top of everything else is just a bit overwhelming at times, for sure.
Yeah, and I think it has helped a lot teach me to let go of control. I didn't realize how much control mattered to me until I didn't have much of it. Because I think before I used to tell myself, I don't really have control, so it's not a big deal. But I actually had a lot more control than what I thought. I had control of my environment, I had control of my family, I had control of decisions, I had control of my daily routine, I had control of a lot of things. And now I don't. And so it's killing me. And I think as a man, you want to be solution based, you want to have control and authority. And so, the flesh wants what it wants. And so I start getting angry and bitter and saying, I want this, I want this. I get mad at people who try to step into my family decisions. I get mad that I don't get to do what I want and make calls. And it's just the flesh that wants it. And I'm learning to be able to let go of that and instead deny the flesh and look to God and say, I give it to you, I trust you, and I'm going to be patient and wait for what you have in store for me. And what I've noticed over time is when I'm patient, when I pray to Him, the answers start to just flow out. And I don't think it means I just wake up and God shines a light on my head and says, this is what you need to do. Like, that's not what it is. It just suddenly something pops up out of nowhere. Someone says something to me. I look something up and I look at London and I say, hey, maybe we should do this. Or she looks at me and says, hey, I'm thinking about this. And it just clicks. Oh my gosh, I think that's it. And then suddenly a week later, you find yourself halfway through that decision process and moving on to the next step. And it happens so organically. And you think, man, we were taking 3 months to make this decision. Suddenly it's moving. And so I think it was only until we gave it to God and started to just relax and say, I don't necessarily like this season. This is not my favorite season. I would love to have a routine. I'd love to be home. But these seasons are the ones that teach you the most. And on top of that, I really need to be grateful because this is a phenomenal season. There's a lot of people who don't get to travel the way we're traveling and have the loving family ready to receive us in our home. And it has taught me to stop wanting more and desiring more and say, give me control, give me this, I want to have this, and just looking around and being, man, I need to just be grateful for everything God has given me. And so what He has done in this season, He's taken away all of my control to force me to stop looking for control and just look around and be like, wow, look at my loving family. Look at the ability to travel. Look at my healthy kids. Like, this is things that not everyone has. And I really am taking this for granted. And how dare I, honestly, how dare I be complaining? And so it's been really helpful. It has been a helpful season, but it's still a challenging season. But I even feel bad saying it's a challenging season because some people, this is nothing compared to what they're going through. And so sometimes I joke that, people say, oh, God gives His hardest challenges to their strongest soldiers. And I'm over here, quoting that. God, I must be your strongest soldier because I'm going through such a hard time. And God's like, your Wi-Fi cut out, dude. Like, that's not a challenge. Stop. You are literally my weakest soldier. You are literally upset that you're flying to Colorado. Like, you are my weakest soldier. I can't give you any challenges, So it is kind of, sometimes I think, man, I'm complaining and I don't have it that hard. But it's uncomfortable, at least, to not to be out of routine like that.
Right, but we grow in the uncomfortability, that's where you grow the most, like you were saying. And one thing that I used to struggle with a lot, and I think I was starting to fall into it because we're in this type of season, is always looking at the future and being future-minded. What's next? Let's plan. Instead of just sitting and being in the present. And I even told Alex the other day, I was like, I'm so overwhelmed with like everything that is coming. It feels like a mountain that we're about to climb, and all the things that we have to do. And I told him, I said, the thing that's helping me the most is just looking at like even just the next week or even that day, and just being as present as I can and just enjoying where we are and not thinking about what's next, because it can be very overwhelming. But also that's just been such a blessing. Like even when you had just first gone home and we were still in Florida, of just, wow, we get to like eat dinner together. Like we haven't had that in 8 months. Or like you get to have story time with Mika and put her down for bed. Like that, all these little moments and just absorbing the present is just, has been such a blessing. And another thing that my mom says a lot is blessed are the flexible. And that's something that I think we both are learning in this season is, things have changed so much. Like even over the past deployment, we haven't known what is coming. So this hasn't been just a 2.5 month ordeal. This has been it's been really a year lead up of having no idea where we're going in this next chapter of our lives. And so, and it's changed a lot. We've gotten excited and then we've been let down and then it's changed. And so I think just being flexible and that also falls into parenting and everything. You know, it's teaching all of us to be flexible and to be open-minded and take it as it comes and just trusting in the Lord through it all. So
yeah, I think it's very true. And it's really easy to say, oh, I'm in the valley. It's so hard. It's so hard. But the valley is beautiful too. And to your point, if you're present, if you decide I'm not going to be worried about the future, I'm not going to be all upset about, you know, what are we doing next and why is this not perfect? Start looking around and enjoy and be present. And even if you're in the valley, enjoy it because there are joys in it. If anyone has done any hike, yes, when you get to the peak, it has the beautiful view. But when you're down in the valley looking up at the huge mountainscape, it's just as beautiful, just in a different way. And so I could sit there and look at a mountain and be like, man, I want to be up there. But then you're missing the whole view. And so it's important. And more importantly, you might get over that peak and then the next valley is much, much, much further down. And so the valley you're in right now is actually a peak. You just don't know it because you're looking at a higher peak saying that's where I want to go. We don't know what tomorrow brings. I mean, there could be tragedy tomorrow. And we're going to look back and think, man, we were complaining about this valley and this valley was really a peak. So we just have to be present and we have to be thankful and have gratitude. And I am not preaching this to you or anyone listening. I am just saying this to this guy right here because I struggle every day and I have to retell myself every day.
Oh, yeah. I was literally praying to God yesterday, being like, I'm surrendering it. I can't. I need your help.
Take it.
Take it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that's where we're at right now in this season of life.
Yeah.
If anyone else can relate.
No tips or tricks, just us complaining. Sorry. If you like the content, please like and subscribe, and we will make sure to post more.
Yeah. Stay
Thank you.
tuned.